I never thought a Thanksgiving dinner could change my life, but here I was, turning into a light-skinned, stringy-haired version of myself, all because of some flavorless turkey and sweet potatoes with marshmallows. And let me tell you, my grandparents had a field day with it. My name is Jamal, and I'm an environmental engineer. I moved to Montana for a job because I'm the only person with my particular skill set. It's a beautiful place, but it's lonely. I'm the only black person in my office, and I haven't made many friends. One day, I met Peggy, a cute red-eyed waitress at the local diner. She was nice, and we hit it off. I had never dated a Caucasian person before, but I thought, why not? So, I asked her out, and she said yes. Peggy's mom wasn't too happy about it, but she said it was okay because I'd be one of them soon. I didn't know what she meant, but I didn't think much of it. Thanksgiving was coming up, and Peggy invited me to her family's dinner. I was excited but also a bit nervous. I had never been to a Thanksgiving dinner that wasn't with my family. When I got to Peggy's house, I was greeted by her family. They were nice enough, but I could tell they were curious about me. The dinner table was set, and I noticed the food was different from what I was used to. There were creamy string beans with brown things sprinkled on top, sweet potatoes with fluffy white stuff on top with little burnt spots, and a pale uncooked turkey with fruity stuffing. This was definitely not my mama's cooking, but I didn't want to be rude, so I ate it. The food was flavorless and nasty, but I smiled and thanked Peggy's mom for the meal. A few days after the dinner, I started to notice changes in my skin color. It was lightening, and my voice changed to a funny pitch. My tight coil hair was getting loose. I was freaking out. What was happening to me? 2 weeks after the dinner, I was totally light-skinned with stringy hair. No one seemed to notice or care. Everyone in the office was white and they didn't comment. I was panicking. I was going home to Blackville, South Carolina for Kwanzaa in 3 weeks. My mama couldn't see me like this. When I got home, my mama fainted. My grandmother took one look at me and burst out laughing. "Boy, you got snow bunny-itis," she said between belly laughs. My grandfather joined in, tears streaming down his face from laughing so hard. I had no idea what they were talking about. My grandmother finally calmed down and explained that snow bunny-itis was a condition that happened when black folks ate too much of other people's cultural food. It was curable with old-fashioned soul food and Jamaican bitters to purify the blood. My grandfather, still chuckling, told me about an old trick from the past. Never eat anyone's cultural food but your own. "That's what you get for eating that bland turkey, boy," he said, shaking his head. I had no choice but to follow their advice. For the next few weeks, I ate nothing but soul food and drank Jamaican bitters. Slowly, my skin color returned to normal, my voice went back to its usual pitch, and my hair tightened back up. When I got back to Montana, I decided to share my cultural food with Peggy. I invited her over for dinner and cooked her some of my mama's best dishes. Fried chicken, collard greens, mac and cheese, and cornbread. She loved it. She couldn't get enough of it. A few days later, Peggy started to notice changes in herself. Her skin was getting darker, her hair was getting curlier, and her voice was changing. She was freaking out, but I told her not to worry. I explained what had happened to me and how my family had cured me. But her folks' food did not have herbs and spices, so there was no cure for Peggy. Peggy was a good sport about it. She embraced the changes and even started to learn how to cook soul food herself. Her mom wasn't too happy about it, but she eventually came around. Peggy began to see the changes in a different light. She realized she looked sexier and stronger. Her new appearance gave her a sense of confidence and empowerment she hadn't felt before. She also started to see the value in my culture and admitted that her own cultural food and traditions lacked flavor and depth. Peggy and I continued to date and we learned a lot from each other's cultures. She even began to prefer soul food and started bringing dishes to her family gatherings. Her family took a while to adjust, but they eventually came to appreciate the richness of our combined traditions. In the end, we both realized that it wasn't about the color of our skin or the texture of our hair. It was about the respect we had for each other and our cultures. We found a way to balance our traditions and create something new to avoid the snow bunny-itis. So, if you ever find yourself in a situation like mine, remember this. Always respect your own culture, but don't be afraid to say no thank you. And most importantly, never underestimate the power of soul food. And, if you do end up with snow bunny-itis, just know that it's curable and your grandparents will have a good laugh at your expense.
Like, share, subscribe. Add a little comment too while you're at it. Thank you.